fifth house sit of the winter was back in Florida. Flew back from California to Florida, and it was on the Atlantic coast at Hobe Sound, January 20th through the 31st of January. And it was on the intercoastal waterway across from the Atlantic Ocean. There was a nice little shuttle there at their marina that you could hop on for free and then go over to the ocean whenever you wanted, for those residents of that gated community. Having a habit of staying in gated communities, but they're very nice. This house is amazing house. I think it valued at close to $2 million. They had a wonderful heated covered pool in the backyard. It wasn't very wide, but it was quite long, and I also had a hot tub too. So it had a cover that a motorized cover that you would put it out and back, and then it kept it warm because it was heated. So that was fun to swim in, and it was quite deep in the deep end, so it was a very nice pool. And I had a challenging pet to take care of there. It was a boxer, a brindle boxer, multicolored boxer, and taking him on walks was a challenge because he was very strong, and he wanted to go after things if he would see them. So he was friendly to people that we'd walk by, but if he saw a rabbit or something, you have to control him. So that was a challenging pet, and but other than that, it was a very nice place to stay. I was able to use their vehicle, a very nice Lexus, four-door Lexus, and got to drive anywhere and everywhere I needed to go, and that was fun and enjoyable. The homeowner had shared with me many local good eats in the area, and so I took advantage of a lot of those. And I also sat by the pool reading a lot out in the warmth instead of being in Michigan. During this sit, I was trying to get another sit in Florida because I had one for late February, and this one ended at the end of January. So I had this area there in February, the early February, that I was trying to fill in. And I don't know exactly how I did it, but I went and searched South American possibilities. But I don't even know why I did that, because I only had this little gap of time. And I found one in Ecuador that fit this time period exactly. So I call it a miracle. It was perfect, literally to the day. The beginning and ending of it was perfect to fit with my next sit, which would be sit number 7. This is sit number 6 in Ecuador is next, and it was the very first part of February. Remember from a previous video about this winter, I went to one of my favorite places, Boquete, Panama. Another place that I always read about was Cotacachi, Ecuador. It's at high elevation, so it's like a spring-like condition all year round. And those are ideal places that I always wanted to visit. And so this house sit that popped up for the first part of February was in Cotacachi, Ecuador. And I went after that one very quickly and right away, and was able to secure it as a sit, and was delighted. So at 8,500 feet, Cotacachi is much higher than Denver. So I was going to be able to test my endurance there walking, because I would have no vehicle there. I'd be walking. I'd be in the town and around the town walking around. So I had 2 dogs there to take care of, and 3 cats, and they were all within a wall. Okay, they were enclosed. They couldn't get out, and you couldn't let them out. Well, the cats got out and came back because they would climb the wall. But anyway, that was what I was there to take care of, was a lady's pets. And that area is challenging for homeowners, expatriates. You have to have a wall and you have to have it secure. It's not dangerous to your person, but vandals or thieves can try to get in and steal your stuff. So her place was secure. I wasn't worried about that, but just to let you know about the area. There are many street dogs there, and the two dogs that I was watching used to be street dogs, and she took them in. And when I would go into town, there's quite a few dogs around. It wasn't like they were a problem, but you could see them. I had many interesting activities while being there. One, I heard, I'm a poker player, and mostly online. And there was a certain bar there that they had a game every week, and expatriates played there. They were all basically Americans or from other countries that they retired to Ecuador. And so I joined in on Wednesdays for a couple games and really enjoyed that and played. And I actually won a prize in each of those two tournaments that I played in, both of them. So the homeowners' friends who lived close by, the man was very involved in pickleball, playing pickleball. So they had a real pickleball community there at a certain location there, indoors. So it was like a gymnasium type place. And so they had like 3 pickleball courts set up in there, and actually 4 on the one end. They had another one, and so I would go there most every day and played and got exercise there and enjoyed it. And I found that I did just fine at 8,500 feet, moving around for quite a few hours actually. I enjoyed Cotacachi. I enjoyed their farmers market once a week as well. Had incredible vegetables and fruits. I got like a big container of blackberries for $1. I mean, these are wonderful fruits they had, and I'd get avocados. Get a bag full of avocados for a couple dollars, and so it was great. There were hot springs that were close to Cotacachi, and I made sure I made a bus trip. I met one of the ladies in the pickleball, and she was an expert on knowing the bus routes. She said, we'll just go to the hot springs. And so she was my tour guide, took me there, and that was really fun. On my trip from the airport to the house sit, there were so many greenhouses along the highway, and they're all growing like roses. And I mean, they export so many roses from Ecuador. That's unbelievable. And there's little roadside stands selling roses for like a dozen is like $3 to $5 for a dozen roses. So. My last house sit for this past winter was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, after flying back from Ecuador to Florida. I had a cat to sit for, a man who goes on cruises all the time. He's an expert on getting cruise deals. So he had me stay in his condo watching his cat. His condo community has a nice pool and a nice sauna. So I would come to the pool area every morning, turn on the sauna, and while it was heating up, I'd be swimming in the pool, and then maybe do some exercises out there as well, and then go into the sauna and sit for as long as I could stand. and that was wonderful. His location was not real close to the ocean, but it was within enough walking distance that I could do it. So I walked to the ocean one time during my long week there to get in the ocean and swim in the Atlantic Ocean. So that was nice too. I became one of the greatest house sitters when I learned how to pick up the brush for this cat. He absolutely went nuts to be brushed. And Rich, the homeowner, was delighted that I had he had made such a friend in me brushing him every day. He was very happy.
Okay, go.
I was delighted that I was able to be away from Michigan all the way through February. So all the pieces fit together, and all the way through February 28th, I was fully house sitting in warm weather, and I was delighted. Thank you for following us, the best house sitters, and please continue to watch our videos and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We love you and we thank you.
Okay.